Hello everyone, Angelo here, the Anointed One, the Messiah, Savior of humanity, Son of God, Son of Man, Son of a Man. Oh man. Let's get this let's let in the light. Chase out these demons. We gotta cast out these demons, I should say. I'm not gonna chase them. Just say get out of here. I'm not gonna walk them out the front door of the building. How do you properly administer water to an iron without spilling it everywhere? What are you supposed to do? Like use a turkey baster? Alright, let's see if that's good. That's good. Man, these shorts, they're comfortable when riding my bike to like climb over it. I gotta like hike them up so they don't like make my legs not tight. Hey, FOT fans. Oh, boy, I rode my bike for like 3 hours today. I was so beat. Like I needed to like eat so much yesterday to keep my energy up, and I took like 2 naps on the couch in my living room. I didn't even feel like making it to my room. I just went and took a nap on the couch and then another nap on the couch and ate. Today I think I will have to eat a little more. But hallelujah, sing me your praises. It is right and just to praise me. God's just one of many people who say that about them. I say that about me too. Nothing wrong with that. They literally say that bullshit in church. We praise God or whatever, for it is right and just. What an asshole. You must praise me, ass. I'll do more for you than God. I'll do way more for you. I'll make you happy. I'll make you laugh. I'll elicit emotion from you. I'll open the window, I'll clean the floor, I'll do all kinds of good stuff. Alright, that's starting to sound way too weird. Forget all that. Well, not forget all that. No, just, whatever. Hey, good, I got a like. I'm doing well. How are you? Ooh, my legs are, I can feel it from yesterday, the big bike ride. Even yesterday, that bike ride, I was a little worn out starting it because I had not eaten a whole lot the last week. Didn't sleep as much as I wanted either. Got a rest. So, it's quite a bit of, like a deficit my body was in. I'm like, oh man, did I need to push myself quite that hard yesterday? Well, it's all good. I didn't mind it, but I would like to not be asleep on the couch for a while. I didn't nap all that long, but that's why I needed 2 naps. And I did need to sleep. I just didn't feel like pulling out my trifold mattress and then putting it away again. I was like, just let me lie down on the couch. Man, this shirt's getting faded fast. I'm going to see Bringing Out the Dead today at the New Beverly Theater. I'm so excited. I got my ticket to see Tim Heidecker September 9th at the El Rey Theater. That'll be awesome. For his tour, the 2 Tims. I missed it, his first few performances in LA. But I'm so glad he added this one so I can see his performance at the end of the tour. And I've seen Tim perform a bunch of times, but I want to see like his touring act, like what he's doing when he's, it's not just like a show on a night, which I love those shows. I've been to several of those shows now. But I want to see like, something he's been working on for a while. So this will be cool. And it's his old stand-up character that I haven't seen in person for quite a while. Since like 2013. I've seen it online. He did his special, of course, which was great. But haven't seen it in person, I think, since 2013. 2013 at Johnny Brenda's in Philadelphia. My mom and I went and saw him. And Neil Hamburger. Boy. I could eat something else right now. I swear to you, I could. Honestly, I could. It's a miracle. It's a miracle that I can eat right now. I feel my appetite. My appetite was gone. It went away, but it came back like a miracle. Hey, how about this monkeypox? That's scary. Should we all get vaccinated for monkeypox? Also, I'm thinking about getting a second COVID booster. I'm pretty sure I want one. Because now they're saying in LA the case numbers are high, and they're going to recommend. Oh, Break the Loop. It's one of my favorite films. Nicolas Cage, Martin Scorsese film. To me, it's like the most, like if you could inject Martin Scorsese like into film and just have it like on film, that is it. Like it's the fatigue, the propulsive nature of it, the type of story about this character trying to save people, to help them. And he's an EMT worker. It's based on a book by Joe Connolly, who's an EMT worker, and he's just had such bad burnout. He's like, he can't, like, all the people he keeps visiting, like they keep dying on him, and it's just such a funny, thrilling, like touching. It's so funny. Like it's one of Scorsese's. Wait, Scorseseist? Never mind. It's a very funny film. And to me, it's something about it is so relatable. Like I can feel that fatigue, even though I've never felt what it's like to be an EMT worker. I've, like the fatigue comes through, and that's so hard to do in a movie, and it's beautifully shot. It's so colorful, and it's just that fast paced when it needs to be, and slow when it needs to be, and quiet and somber and sad, and it's about so much. Just an amazing film. Yeah, I heard Severance is great. I don't even have time to watch TV lately. I didn't even watch anything yesterday. I rode my bike for 3 hours. I was absolutely beat after that. I had to like force feed myself some big meals to keep my energy up, and because I knew I burned a bunch of calories, and I'd already been like starving myself this week and not sleeping a lot. And yeah, so then all had time for was writing last night. Then I'm like, oh crap, and I have a bunch of video lectures to watch for my class, so I don't even have time to watch a movie. But today, I'm getting my Sunday finest out, because I'm going to see Bringing Out the Dead on a 35 millimeter print at the New Beverly Theater. That will be something. And thank goodness it's not too late of a screening either. It's hard for me to stay up late anymore. But yeah, I'll be excited to be there. I'm going to have my mask on for this one, because now, they're saying LA, the coronavirus numbers are going way up. But I'll be interested in seeing just how many people are there, who's around me. Just say hi to the people sitting around me. I always like talking to the people around me in the theater, asking them, have you seen the movie before? You just come out because you just heard about it. For me, a lot of times, it's like 50-50. A lot of these classic movies I see in theaters I haven't seen before, and some I have, and I absolutely love them. Yeah, Bringing Out the Dead. Hey, Darian Trumbull. Or Turnstall. What? Sorry. Um, yes, Bringing Out the Dead is an underknown film of Scorsese's. It's not widely considered like one of his greatest. It by no means is nothing but one of the greatest. And Nicolas Cage considers it one of his favorite movie role he's done, or like one of two, like that and Pig, he said. And I haven't seen all his movies, but I love a lot of his movies, and I can absolutely agree with that. There's something so special about this film, so just like elemental, that just goes straight to me, you know? And it looks easy, and it's so hard to do. And Scorsese even talked about how hard it was to film, and they're filming at night in New York, and he said there's something so depressing about, when 4 a.m. hits and you're up, And the fact it just it's I don't even want to spoil much about it. It's just so well done. So much of that movie informs how I see movies, and like what I think a movie can be. And it's ultimately about a guy trying to help people, trying to hang on to his humanity, and he keeps the people he tries to save keep dying, and his exhaustion and struggle to connect with people, and it takes place only over the course of like 2 or 3 days, and just wonderful. And Nicolas Cage is so fucking funny in it, as is everybody. John Goodman, Tom Sizemore, Ving Rhames is hilarious in it. Mark Anthony's funny in it. Dennis Farina. Wait, is it Dennis Farina, or is it just a guy with a mustache? I think it's Dennis Farina. No, it's not Dennis Farina. No, it's not. Never mind. It's a guy who reminds me of Dennis Farina. He is so funny in it. It's just situations in that movie, I'm like, of course, that's what you would put in a movie. So it's very, very good. And I've read the script. It was the last collaboration between Martin Scorsese and Paul Schrader. Paul Schrader realized he wanted to go off and direct his own movie. He had already been directing, but he wanted to. He said he realized there were two directors, in the room when he was writing, and it was obvious they couldn't work together. After that, they're still friends. They still talk, but it's funny listening to Paul Schrader talk. He's just brutally honest about everything, including himself. He's like, "Oh, that movie was awful that I made." Like, he is just not even worried about. Like, is he saying something that makes it sound like he's criticizing someone? He'll just straight out say it, and there's no conscientiousness about it, but it's very interesting listening to him talk. And, you realize his background in Dutch Calvinist home. He never even saw a movie, I guess, until he was 18. And he was a very troubled young guy, and he said he was living in his car for a while. He was an alcoholic, and he eventually had a pain in his stomach. He had a bleeding ulcer, all kinds of problems. Anyways. Nimit, yeah, you miss my mom? Well, she really wants to be here. I want to get her to LA. Let's just keep the momentum going. She's not going to come in the summer. We know that. She doesn't want me to spend the money for her to have a trip here. I'm willing to, but I agree that it makes total sense. Like, we don't need to make this happen now. Like, she just wants me to save money because, she wants me to have it if I ever need it in emergency. So she wants to save the money herself to visit here. I don't know if she'll be able to. Probably not, I'm guessing, because she has a lot of bills. But now we'll see if she can make it in December, which is going to be tricky because what am I doing with this white? I don't put this on hangers. I put this in my bag. For one, it's going to be expensive. There's a lot of travel. Why we cannot get high-speed rail in this country? That would be so convenient, and get rid of the ridiculous baggage claim and all that, and the TSA. I don't know if some of you may not remember this because you're too young. There used to not be a TSA. It used to be. I swear. I flew when I was 7 years old. Was that the only time I remember flying? And yeah, without the TSA. Because by the time I was 19, my family went to Greece again. We flew. I think the TSA was around then, I'm pretty sure. And because that was definitely after September 11th, 2001, when all these security changes happened. You want to visit California? It's a great place. Oh, I've seen Break the Loop. I've seen Bringing Out the Dead a bunch of times on DVD. I guess I just bought the DVD just to watch Scorsese's films, and I don't remember like how I decided to get that DVD, but I saw it in 2011 or 12, Absolutely loved it. I've seen it several times since, and I've never seen it in the theater. It came out in 1999. I was probably aware of it, I guess, when I was 14, 15 when it came out. 14, I guess, 13. But I, I'm sure I wouldn't have related to the movie the way I do as an adult, and I'll probably relate to it even more now that I haven't seen it in a few years and I've had all this experience behind me and just experienced more of life. Goodfellas was like that for me when I was younger. Didn't appreciate it. I was like, big deal. What do I care about this stuff? As an adult, I'm like, oh, I totally get why you'd want to just be a gangster and have power and not work a real job. And just the problems people have of like working any kind of life, and this is working as a gangster. So it's got very, very grave problems. Not saying it's a good thing to do, but I'm just saying the movie, it shows a different way of life. And anyway, that wasn't something I could really appreciate until I was older. Yeah, because younger I was like, what did I care about that? I didn't care. It was very different from like just the conventions that movies show. Anyways, a lot of people here. Cool. Break the loop. My building has a laundry room, so I got to go downstairs, and you got to pay on your phone for it. But it is very convenient. The good thing is, oh, thank goodness, man. There are so many slumlords around here. The management here, they actually care about repairs. When we've had the washing machine get flooded, sometimes it'll flood out onto the floor. They'll try and fix it right away. They'll put up signs and stuff. So they're good about that stuff. Like, thank goodness they actually care. Have I ever participated in, or have I ever wanted to appear in a film? Well, I've been in films, like independent films. I actually played an EMT worker in an independent film about someone addicted to opioids. Or EMT, really police officer. I played it. It was the very first film I worked on in LA, and it was a really fun production. Took me all over different areas. Really, really fun. A lot of fun to work on. And I saw it premiere at the Lamley Theater on Santa Monica, and it was the only film of a block of short films that got applause from the audience at the end. So that was cool. I show up at the end as the CMT, but I've that's all I've done is like appeared in my own little short films for like the 48-hour film festival or something. But I I was background. I played like a court bailiff in another independent film. It hasn't come out yet. A feature. I was a background extra where you can't even see my face. I'm just out of focus in at least one or two other films. Darian tried to go to college to be an anesthesiologist, but it was going to be too hard because of my cerebral palsy. Sorry to hear that, Darian. Yeah, that's a tricky thing to deal with, I'm sure. But glad you seem to be doing well. Glad you're a fan. My ribs are almost completely recovered from my crash, my bike crash. So thank goodness. I'm still waiting for them to be fully recovered before I do push-ups. I'll be so glad to do push-ups again. I miss doing them. All I can do now is like a bicep curls like this, back workout like where I pull on exercise cord, and then leg work and ride my bike. So really miss having the chest and tricep. I'm like, oh, I regret that, but it's okay. I can build back better. I can get there. And man, am I hungry again. I really did wipe myself out yesterday with a long bike ride. I discovered a new way of dealing with dissociative feelings, like when I'm dissociating a bit, DPDR, depersonalization, derealization disorder. The impulse came to me yesterday to do this. My hands, and just such a grounding sensation. And it gives me goosebumps, and I just feel so much like more in my body. And by the way, to people wondering what this is, yeah, DPDR, look it up. It's a whole thing, but basically, just the way to treat it when you're dissociating, feeling disconnected from your body, is just to feel grounded in your body. It's nothing like alternative medicine or holistic medicine, all this stuff. It's literally just little exercises to feel grounded. That's all. It's not, woo nonsense. What do you call it? Like pseudoscience or anything. It just literally, it's almost just like exercise. That's it. It's If I had a serious problem, I try and get serious help. This is not a serious problem. It's just annoying, feeling dissociated. I've struggled with that for much of my life, and I can feel it like tingling on the back of my neck when I do this. And it's just a nice little feeling of being grounded and being focused, and it helps me with my screenwriting. What am I doing today? I'm going to finish ironing my clothes, and I'm going to do a bunch of writing. I have to watch some lectures for my screenwriting class. And tonight, I'm going to the New Beverly Theater to watch a 35 millimeter print, which I am so excited about, of Bringing Out the Dead, one of my favorite movies from Martin Scorsese, and starring Nicolas Cage. And Nicolas Cage and all the whole cast is just amazing. This movie is so much just like if you could shoot it out of a gun, like what a movie is, and just hit someone so hard with, not hit someone, I don't like saying it like that with a gun, but you know what I mean, like if you could just fire a movie, like the idea of it so clearly of what it can be, I'm like, this is one of them. I just love this film. It's so funny, touching, dramatic. It's so funny and sad at the same time, and it's all about this EMT worker who's struggling to save people's lives, and he can't manage to do that, and people keep dying on him, and just the stress and the burnout and the PTSD of all that, and this guy just struggling to feel some humanity, like he can save someone, like he's capable of helping someone, and so it's just a wonderful story. And the fact that it's set in New York, in Manhattan, in 1999, so it's such Scorsese, like the architecture and how claustrophobic it feels. I gotta drink some water. Damn, I am quite hungry again. Normally, I don't get this like hunger pains, like I'm dizzy this early. I'm gonna have to go find some good beef fast. Oh, I know where I'll find some good beef fast. There's a good breakfast place. You have a really nice restaurant. Ooh, I can go there, but I don't want a huge meal. That's the thing. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. I do not want a huge meal. Oh, I got another shirt to iron. Found a nail clipping. Angelo Break the Loop asks, what drove you? There's still so much discipline when it comes to getting up early, watching what I eat, all that stuff, consistently working out. Yeah, well, I can tell you, for one, it was years of having misery, of not knowing how to be myself, not feeling like myself, hating myself, being miserable, being in pain all the time, just the most bitter loneliness, and struggling with it and wondering why. Because I would look at other people, I'm like, they seem to just be okay. They have fun. They don't need to work out hard. They don't need to, get up early every day, all that stuff. So for one thing, it's for me, I have to do this. Like I have to, make this sort of, make a partnership with this discipline, and my pain to propel myself forward. But actually, so yeah, I was learning stuff like that over the years, like just how do I want to be? I don't want to be, unhealthy. I don't want to be out of shape. But it's not even about being in shape or how I look, any of that. It's about how it affects me. So for me, really, yeah, it's like I like the benefits of it. But where I learned it, actually, I can tell you where I learned it because I was so miserable in LA, even though I loved being here. Felt so disconnected after being in Virginia for so long, where I just felt like I couldn't be myself. and I started seeing Wes Watson's videos, the guy who's in prison for 10 years, and he does self-development and stuff, and he said he gets up really early every day no matter what. And the idea just kind of hit me. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. That sounds like a good idea. Get up the same time every day. Because I was sick of getting up late every day, living in my car, and by the time my day started, it would often be 3, 4, or 5 in the afternoon. So things are already busy, and then by 8 o'clock at night or so, a lot of stuff's closing down. I don't have access to the places I want to be, and I didn't like that I wasn't getting done all the stuff I needed. Um, I wasn't connecting with the people I wanted. I didn't feel like I was quite being myself. I was getting there. I was, not totally lost. But so that was one thing. And then as I was doing that and working out, I just keep getting better and better at it, keep practicing it more and more. So I just learned like, oh, that's what works for me. And I still struggle with it. I still struggle with the, not so much waking up and eating right and all that, but the discipline of writing. That's a big one. And I don't know, just other things, just learning how to, just making sure I can deal with people right and all that, because there are times where I just want to leave. Like, I'm just like, screw it. I don't want to deal with anyone, all these problems, and you realize, okay, got to be a negotiator. You got, got to be kind of patient with other people's shortcomings who aren't as instilled with this discipline, So, anyways, that was a big influence. Yeah, I don't. That's not obviously the way Wes Watson screams. Obviously, that's not how I talk. I can say I get it in a way because first he did live in a very intense environment where it's like I guess it that he had to be like that with himself to survive. I've heard from people that say you can't be like that in prison, screaming at people and stuff, or you'll get taken out. But I don't agree with some of the ways that he seems like he talks to people. Like I'm not about that, but on the other hand, like the message, yeah, I didn't like that. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell? But I sort of got it in that like I get the urgency of it, of like why he's saying this. It's like do it, be your best self. Come on. But and it's interesting. I've seen some of his more recent videos where he doesn't yell as much and he's just kind of like talking about his pain and his shortcomings. And it's like I don't know if he realizes. I just disagree with some of the and some of the stuff, the way he talks to people, the words, insults. But it's like your mileage may vary, I guess. But when he talks about his shortcomings and weaknesses and pain, that's when he's really powerful. And it's like, oh, here's this guy who's saying, hey, he has pain too, and he needs, to be well as well. But that said, I don't know, whatever. And to each their own. It's not quite. Anyways, I got helpful stuff out of it. Other stuff that's not helpful from me from Wes Watson, I just discard. Like, obviously, I'm not a person like that. Like that. I'm not a yelling guy like him. I can sort of understand like why the need for it, in a way, the urgency in videos, but I don't agree with being too rough on people in a way. So I don't know. Recent recession, all that. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, I think obviously things are pretty bad. Not just recession, freaking climate, man. Like, how long are we gonna have a habitable Earth? How long are we gonna have like sustainable communities and cities and all that? It seems like the ignorant, I don't even need to describe them who they are, but people who don't believe that we should be creating a progressive solutions for homelessness, for medical care, for safety, for transportation, for sustainable energy, for clean air, for clean water. Um, all that stuff. But even though I think all this is, there's a lot of problems, and and the recent abortion ban. I mean, that is, oh my goodness, like what on earth like what country are we in? What world? What planet are we on? Where we think that's a good idea. Where we think it's a good idea to ban abortion, to punish people for getting them, to deny women and other pregnant people medical care. It's just like it's that is draconian, and it's just relegating women to second-class citizens, which in a lot of ways, it's not like it was easy to get abortions before for a lot of people, but this, fascist theocratic movement, it's like I try not to even look at a lot of that. And the thing is, I think the majority of people are against all that, but they're not nearly as united and as aggravated and coalesced and just fanatical as the people who are obsessed with inflicting their power and inflicting pain on others. So yeah, obviously there's a lot to worry about. It's like that literally affects everybody, especially pregnant people and women. But it's just anyway. So personally, I try not to worry about any of that because it does me no good. I will be even worse off. Don't want to do it. And I do see progress. There are progressive people, leaders, activists who are out there and who thankfully are getting a lot of support. LA just had 4 progressives win elections, even against longtime incumbents. And the movement to get police accountability and to de-escalate police power and divert money towards services and not just incarceration, all those are having success, but it's all very sometimes not clear where the progress is being made. So anyways, yeah, I try not to worry about that. Yes, I do try and save a lot of money, even though I do spend it. The good thing is I can still save it, because thank goodness I'm making enough. But you never know how anything will go. So that's why I'm training as if it's life or death for my writing, because that's one thing I know will give me more financial security. I know writers must think, oh, that's insane, that's ridiculous, financial security. Well, I mean, if I'm really good at it, and if I am making money at it, you can make a lot more money at that than I can at pretty much any other job. So that's what I mean. So it's yes, things are quite drastic in a lot of ways, and I've had my own drastic, experiences trying to survive, being homeless only being one of them. But yeah, I just try not to worry about it, because I just try and do well, be well, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just gotta do that. A lot of us are studying English, and your streams are listening. Oh, I appreciate that, FOT fans. Practico mi español tanto también. Tanto, is that, I don't know. But I've been, here, I'll try and say it in Spanish. He sido escuchando a español cada día por las mañanas. Cuando ejerzo en las mañanas, escucho entrevistas con guionistas de películas o con directores de películas, con gente que fabrican películas, básicamente. So I've been listening to a lot of interviews when I exercise in the morning with Spanish language film screenwriters and directors to try and improve my Spanish, and I guess it's helping. I just said that better than stuff, but I still don't practice Spanish enough. But that alone, just having 30 minutes or 45 minutes in the morning every day helps me. And now that I do that, it's exercising my brain. I can't go back to just listening to entertaining stuff while I exercise. It's like having candy, first thing in the morning. It's you think it's going to be good, but it's not fun. Sí. Atento practicar mi español cada día. Yo quiera, should I say yo quiera o yo quiero mejorar mi pronunciación día por día? Practico lentamente cuando leo algo. Practico pronunciar las palabras lentamente. So I try and practice pronouncing words very slowly in Spanish, so I try and get the pronunciation right. You know one name that is so difficult for me to say in Spanish? Rodriguez. The name Rodriguez is giving me so much problem because if you say it in Spanish, you have to say it first of all, the R, the R is difficult enough for English speakers. I can do the R okay, the R, but then the D, the de, and R otra vez, es tan difícil. It's so difficult to get the D and R to get, so Rodriguez in English, and then in Spanish, Rodriguez. To get the tongue, the D and the R, it's so difficult next to each other. Rodriguez. That's actually way better than before. Eso es mucho mejor que en el pasado. Rodriguez. And I don't want to do the R, it's just R. So, Rodriguez. That's better. Eso mejor. Yeah, man, it's bad. Oh my goodness. And I'm reading like England and France are getting so bad, the heat. Los Angeles, we don't know if we're going to have water next summer. I see people still watering their lawns every day on my bike ride to work. And even one house, they have a fountain running, 2 fountains outside their home. I'm like, you really need water running all the time, you rich pricks. I don't like to judge. Okay, I don't want to say rich pricks, but come on. So yeah, stuff like that, it's, oh boy. I'm so glad I don't have a car. I'm so glad I have a bike because the car is basically, it's like a money trap. And think about it, okay, let's say if I ever do need to live in my car again, well, first of all, I'd buy a cheap car, but I'd rather have a bike. A bike is so much easier to maintain and repair. And if a car breaks down, you really have trouble and things get more difficult to, like supply chain issues and all that stuff. Who knows how long we'll be able to fix our cars and all that. I don't know. That's why I try not to worry about all that. Like, part of me thinks, what if I have to escape LA? Like, there's a huge earthquake and it's destructive here. And what if I was in my car trying to leave and the car breaks down or the car is destroyed or something? And I'm stuck financially and I can't get it fixed and I'm stuck with all of my stuff in the car. Whereas if I have my bike, not as much of a big deal. I can get another bike easily. And also, I can keep riding my bike. It's easier to like repair it, Anyways. Your car streams are iconic. That's true. They are iconic. Learn slowly. That's right. Just learn it slowly and just say it faster and faster. Rodriguez. Already it's getting better. Rodriguez. It's like practicing the muscles in your tongue and mouth and vocal cords. Rodriguez. But I don't want to do it see, I'm doing it too short. I should do it full, make the sound full and like not stop it. Rodriguez. I remember saying Jorge Ramos' name was difficult for me. Jorge Ramos. I practiced it for like an hour and I was good. Rodriguez. But there's so much stuff for me to do in the day. How can I do everything? I gotta write, I gotta watch my lectures, I gotta watch movies, I gotta go take a shit, I gotta do everything. Rodriguez. No, thank goodness I've never had a close call with being hit by a car. One lady in some old crappy, like, what are they, like Pontiac, the convertibles, the horse, what are they, the horse car? You know what I mean? It's named after a horse. What are they called? And they're like a fake, they're like a person's imitation of like a good sports car. Pontiac Stallion or something. What are they called? I don't remember. Those ugly convertibles. This lady, one morning, she like honked at me. She was rushing to get by, but she wasn't close to hitting me, thank goodness. But no, generally, first of all, I'm way more cautious than other bike cyclists. I see other cyclists ride alongside cars, and I'll get off the road and go on the sidewalk, even if it's slow or people have their dogs out and I have to stop. Usually I'll do that. So I try and be very careful, and I stop at stop signs if there are other cars around. And yeah, so I'm pretty careful. And most drivers, they'll even when they have the right of way at a stop sign, like at a four-way intersection, they'll wave me through. Like if I get to the stop sign after them. So, but I always stop because I never assume they'll stop for me. So, and I don't want them getting mad and thinking, oh, this cyclist, they're blowing a stop sign. It's like I don't even want to put the perception out there that cyclists all do that. I want them to respect me. So obviously they do respect me when that happens. But yeah, it is scary because yeah, people have died in LA. People have been horribly maimed and permanently disabled by car crashes with their bikes. So I don't even ride on like the main roads or if anywhere along there. I stay on the sidewalk unless there's like clearly no traffic behind me for a while because, oh man, it's just not good. Pontiac Mustang. That's it. Ford Mustang. Wait, no, not the Mustang. What am I thinking about? It's a Pontiac. It's probably Pontiac Firebird, I think. I gotta dump the water out of this. And man, my body is craving nutrition right now because of how hard I rode that bike yesterday and all week. And worked out. So not only, every day I do my morning workout and then I ride my bike about 3 miles to work, 3 miles back. And then Saturdays I like to ride my bike extra, like maybe 10 miles or so. I could go to this really nice restaurant around here that's like super, like, oh, it's beautiful and service is nice. They got good food there. Dinner menu, not so great. I don't like to put it down, just not my kind of dinner menu, but the breakfast stuff is good. But I don't want to sit down, so I just want to get something quick and I don't want it to be junk. What should I get? Where should I go? And I don't just want like fast food, like a pre-made sandwich or something. Trying to think. Um, Where should I go? I want to be able to walk in my neighborhood. Well, I could walk or ride a scooter. Where should I go? Guess I could go to the farmer's market again, but I don't feel like going that far. Definitely don't want to ride my bike today. After I rode like 10 miles yesterday, I was exhausted. Anyways, I'll look it up and see. But I'm going to go, so I got to get to eating. I'm actually really hungry. Thanks for watching, everyone, and keep supporting the channel. All right, bye.